Hey, how's it going? Back with another video here, and this time we're going to be making a homemade dream mat style mat for this sluice box that I'm 3D printing. It's kind of a gold cube style sluice box. I'll feature this in another video where we show it actually working. But today what I want to do is I want to print silicone mats for the inside of this. So I have two designs, and I went on Tinkercad and fiddled with this mold. It's kind of a dream mat style mold. And this one, which is just basic riffles. So I printed a shell of the bottom part, or the tray here, and they fit down in there. So I'll be able to, in theory, put the silicone down in, press the mold in until it cures. And we're just going to use normal 100% silicone tub and tile caulk. You can make them in any size. I saw Jason over at Flower Gold Wizards make one, and it worked out great. So I decided to try it myself and see if we can make a custom one that fits in these trays. So if that interests you, stick around. Alright, first thing we're going to need is 100% silicone caulk. I like the GE. It has to say silicone 1 on it, and it needs to be clear. So either tub and tile or all-purpose silicone will work, as long as it's 100% silicone. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll set it down on our workbench. We got our cut-resistant gloves and our safety glasses on. We'll grab a sharp box cutter, and we're going to come down on the top about 1/4 inch. We'll make an incision like that, and we'll cut all the way around it. I got the cardboard there to save my Rockler silicone mat. Alright, now we have our tube open. Next thing we're going to do is grab a container of water. Alright, we have a container of water. This is just a scrap bucket of something. And you want to put a layer of dish soap on the bottom. So I'm just using Dawn dish soap. And you're going to put a generous amount of Dawn dish soap in that water. Alright, just like that. Alright, so my daughter's just using a stick here to push the silicone out. And that's why we wanted to cut the end out. We want to use all of the silicone. There we go. Now we'll take our stick out. Alright, now we're going to need, I have my daughter helping me, and we're going to need the soap and the silicone mixture. You have about a minute of working time with this stuff, and you're going to want to fold it quite a bit, mix that soap in. You'll get a vinegar smell. That's the acetic acid in the silicone, but you just want to work it around. It'll start to become more firm. We'll continue to knead it and fold it. And again, if you get any somewhere where you don't want it, mineral spirits will clean this stuff right up. It says so on the package. But I found that the soap and water just keeps it from sticking to everything. How's it feeling?
It's not sticky.
It's not?
No.
So I can move the water?
Yeah, you can move the water.
Alright, after we've gone through the water and kneaded it about a minute, minute and a half, you're left with some pretty non-sticky silicone. So we'll put our form down and our mold. We're going to go with just the square mold first. And again, I'll post a link to the files that I designed in Tinkercad down below. Yep, so we're making sure we press it very firmly to get it down in all the nooks and crannies. And again, it's not sticky at this point. And if you overlap the edges, that's okay. It'll all just kind of squeeze out the ends. And that's fine. We want to make sure we press very firmly and get it worked in all areas so we have a uniform thickness of the matting. And if you want to do this in larger sizes, the nice thing is silicone sticks to itself, so you can add more silicone days, weeks, months later, and it'll still adhere. Okay, and then once we're happy with where we have it, we'll take it down, we'll press it into our mold, and we'll apply some pretty firm pressure just to make sure we get it worked in. And now we can clean up the excess, put it back in the water for a bit, and we'll use it for our next mat. And again, if there's any flashing or anything hanging off the ends, we can just trim that off at the end with a box cutter. Alright, we'll set this mold to the side, and we'll do our second mold. This time we're going to do the sort of faux dream mat style. And again, you don't have to put mold release or anything. The silicone won't stick to the PETG, or actually I think it's PLA. So just as before, we'll work it into all the nooks and crannies. We want to make sure we get that, capture that detail of the dream matting, so we get the vortexes. or the Dream Mat style matting. Okay, once we're happy with it, we'll go ahead and insert it into the tray, and we'll press down firmly. And just as an experiment, I'm going to leave a lot of this goop here, and we'll just trim it off after it cures. It takes about 24 hours to cure, and then we'll be able to demold it, and we'll make the next batch. Alright, so we've been letting these sit for about 24 hours, and they're pretty much cured. They're a little tacky, but we can remove them from the mold. I only made 2 molds, so I'd like to remove them and make the second set. So it's pretty easy. Just came right out of my form. And now we'll just peel it off the mold. It is still a little wet, so it'll probably just need to dry off. There we go, came out pretty clean. These are a lot more pronounced ridges, and we'll just have to clean this up. Still kind of wet and soapy, but the soap worked as a great mold release. Just the soapy water on the silicone. Now let's go to the next one. Well, let's see if it fits in our tray, and it should. Yep, fits right in our tray, so it should fit in the actuals, since this is just a cut down actual one. Now for the moment of truth, let's see how the Dream Mat one looks. There we go. A little firm pressure, comes right out. Pretty clean release. A little bit to clean up there before the next mold. Pretty good. Just peel back the edges first. I'm learning as I go. Ooh. I don't know if you can see that. That's a pretty reasonable facsimile of the Dream Mat. Now these little black specks you see in there are probably little bits of PLA, and it's not sticky at all. We still probably want to let this cure a little longer before we trim it down to size, and then we'll fit it in the mat. So right now I'm going to make the other two. We'll just repeat the process and see how she works. Alright, so maybe I got a little carried away. I made quite a few more. As you can see, I printed a base, and then I printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trays, and then a top tray. Let me show you what we got going on. As you can see, the top tray has some holes for tubing. I just used 2. It gives plenty of flow. I'll show you here in just a minute. And then I printed a blank top mat. So it's got a little bit of texture from the roughness from the PLA, from the 3D printing ridges. Just to use kind of as an indicator mat, and because I had some leftover silicone. For the mats, I have kind of the gold cube style mat, and then I have 2 ridges, another gold cube style mat, and another one with some lower ridges. I made 2. I wasn't really happy with the height of the original ridges. They seemed too high, so I put some smaller ridges. And there's really no rhyme or reason, just the random order that I have them set up. For the tubing, I just use, I think it's 1/2 inch tubing, might be 5/8 inch, but I just ran it into the holes. I have it into a Y connector. Then the tubing just connects to one of these 12-volt transfer pumps. I'll show you that here. Just a 12-volt transfer pump here. And I just have that sticking down in the water here. It does have an on-off switch, and it has some battery leads that I have hooked up to a 12-volt variable power supply. But I was also running it earlier today on this ice fishing transducer battery, so you can run it off a car battery or whatever you have handy. Finally, everything exits here, and all my tailings will come into this little bowl that I have weighted down with some rocks, and then we can run it again to see how effective we are. I do have some jet dry in the water, and you can see my flow isn't coming out evenly, and that's okay. There were some imperfections in the 3D print, but nothing a little clear Gorilla Tape wouldn't handle. Alright, let me give you a little close-up of the sluice. I'll just pull these out. They're just friction fit. Oh, I suppose you could hot glue them in if you needed to. And they just press fit in there. Oops. And you can just see it's just a 3D printed box with some holes here Oops, I got some water going on the floor. And so your material sprays up here, flows down here. You can see this is just a, just got some ridges in there. Nothing special. And then it flows into the next box. You can see it's got a little tray there. Now these mats were considerably thicker when I first started making them. I got some bugs on there when I first started making them, so I've gotten better. But I'm going to run them like this just to see. I imagine most of the stuff's probably going to get caught right here, but let's take a look. And then they just nest on top of each other, just like that. And I think with a little fine tuning and a little improvement to my process, I think I could probably get a really usable mat. I think this is fine for what it is. But having built it, I would like to go and make some thinner mats. Working on making a thinner mold. And you can see here the thickness of the mold is determined by these sidewalls here when you press it down. And you can kind of see my first prototype, real deep ridges compared to this one, real shallow ridges. You just put your silicone down in the mold and you press it in, just like that. So the later mats were a lot thinner, and you can even tell with the gold cube style mats. I made this one a lot more low profile than this one. Maybe this will catch those giant nuggets. We'll see. And you can see I used a few different colors of filament. That's just because that's what I had handy. There's no rhyme or reason to the color. I finished up a purple roll that I had printed some projects for my daughter, and then I had some green left over, and then I had some black. Some of them are PLA, some are PETG. The print quality is not that great. But we'll see how she does in the next video. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, or you think I'm just a complete lunatic or really bad at what I do, hey, I already know that, but my mom thinks I'm cool. Anyway, just type that down below, and I try to answer all the comments that I can. And I'll put a link to the hardware and stuff that I use down below as well if you're interested in trying to craft your own. Anyway, we'll see how she works next time. And as always, thanks for watching.